everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Marvin's Room. Thank you guys, as always, for continuing to tune in. To the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. I wanted to hop on here today and discuss with you guys a viewer question, and a viewer had a question on manifesting your crush. So thank you to this viewer that sent me this question, and also this question made me realize something much bigger on the scale of manifesting a specific person. So I wanted to get into that to today's video as well, but before we get into that, let's get into the viewer question. Can you make a video on the simplest way how to manifest your crush in a situation where you haven't met physically, only talked a few times? So without knowing all the nuanced details of this situation, I'm just gonna give you my summation of how I would probably go about it. So as you guys know that have been following me for quite some time now, I have different weapons that I use and I keep in the arsenal for different situations. So in this situation, when trying to manifest a crush, me personally, I'm probably going to throw something like affirmations out the window. Now that's not to say you don't have to use affirmations, because again, as I've said religiously in all my videos, affirmations, visualizations, scripting, whatever you want to use, that's up to you. Use whatever makes you and gets you in the state the most. However, me in this situation, if I'm trying to manifest something like a crush where we haven't met physically, but we've only talked a few times, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the end, like Neville says. So me, I'm throwing scripting, I'm throwing affirmations out the window. I'm not gonna affirm, oh my God, my specific person finally texted me, or oh my God, my crush and I finally met. I'm not saying any of those affirmations. What I'm gonna do if I'm trying to manifest seeing a crush that I've never met physically yet, I'm going to the end scene and I'm going to create a scene in my mind, and I'm going to imagine me and my crush are somewhere realistic that I could see happening and us meeting probably within the next 30 days or whatever the time frame is that you believe in. What I'm not going to create is I'm not going to create some unrealistic scene that has me and my crush, for instance, in a relationship, doing relationship stuff or whatever the case may be. Again, let me preface my comments by saying that if you want to do that 100%, go for it, do it. But what I've learned in working with a lot of people, it's very hard for a lot of people to go to the end of scenes that quickly with that kind of energy, with that kind of relationship energy, because they just simply don't believe it. Their minds cannot conceive it. They cannot, their affirmations won't work for it no matter how much they affirm. Their visualizations won't work for it no matter how much they visualize, because they don't believe it. And like Neil Quay has stated, like I've talked about in my past videos, whatever the imagination believes is what's going to triumph. You cannot will it into existence. So don't think that you're going to will the imaginal scene of you and your crush meeting finally, because it's not going to work. Because if your imagination doesn't believe it, your imagination is going to win every time. And whatever your imagination believes, that's what's going to manifest. This brings me to my point that I mentioned earlier in the video that I wanted to get into. This question made me realize the bigger point in manifestation. What most of you guys watching this video want from a specific person is you just want contact. You just want contact, and you want to physically meet them for whatever the reason may be. You don't necessarily want the relationship right away. You just want to stay in contact with that person and be able to have access to that person, even if you're not in relationships. I'm pretty sure, and I'm willing to bet that a lot of you out there that want a specific person or trying to manifest a relationship or an ex-pac or whatever the case may be, I'm willing to bet that even if you guys are not in a relationship with that person, a lot of you guys would suffice just being in contact with that person. Any contact, texting, talking, seeing each other once a week, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, I'm gonna say something that's controversial amongst the LOA community. I believe in manifesting in steps. So for this situation, if I'm trying to manifest a crush and myself meeting for the first time, how I would go about it is I would create a scene of us meeting somewhere. I would feel the feelings of how real that scene is. I would imagine what I'm wearing. I would imagine what my crush is wearing. And I would just imagine hearing the crush's voice, hugging and saying something along the lines of, oh my God, I'm so happy that we finally got to meet. You see, when you're trying to manifest scenes like this, or when you're trying to manifest situations like this, in my opinion, I personally don't think there is no need to go further than that scene. There's no need to try to imagine you and your person in a relationship. All you need to do is just imagine a realistic scene that you could see happening in the next 30 days or less, or whatever the time frame may be for you. Just imagine that scene, whether it's you guys holding hands, whether it's you guys hugging, hearing each other's voices, hearing the excitement in your person's voice saying, I'm so glad we finally get to meet. Feel the sensation of hugging someone. Feel what that would feel like, because as I've said in other videos, and as I just dropped in one of my recent videos with Greg Braden, the feeling is really the secret. So when you say affirmations like, oh, I can't believe me and my crush finally met, when you say those affirmations, a lot of time there's no feeling behind it. There may not be feeling behind it, unless you're one of those people that can say that and get away with that. You have to decide that. But for me personally, what I would do, I like to visualize. I like to close my eyes, go straight to the scene, imagine me and my person in that scene doing whatever it is, whether we're out on a date, whether we're just taking a walk. Me personally, I think manifesting this way is the best step for a lot of people, especially in the beginning. Now, if you've been manifesting for quite some time now and you've kind of found a rhythm and you know what works for you versus not knowing what works for you, then that's one thing. You can potentially go about it however you like to go about it. Maybe you're so advanced, you can go straight to the end of difficult scenes like being in a relationship with your person, being married with your person, and you feel like you have no resistance around that type of scene, those type of affirmations saying, I'm married to my person or I'm with my person, whatever the case may be. But everybody's different. And working with people that I've worked with and what I've seen, most people, they have a hard time going to end scenes like being married with their person. So this method of how I'm recommending to manifest meeting your crush for the first time, even though they haven't met, they've only talked a few times, I personally believe that manifesting in steps this way is the best way to go about getting, whether you've never met your person, whether you're trying to manifest them back. If you're trying to manifest a specific person back and you haven't talked to them in a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, or whatever the case may be, this method may be the method for you in manifesting in steps. Creating a scene, a realistic scene that you believe could happen within the next 30 days. Manifest a text conversation that you believe could happen in the next 30 days of your person saying something along the lines of, hey, it's me. I just wanted to see how you were doing. Or, hey, it's me. Do you think you have time to talk real quick? These scenes like this, in my opinion, are way more real, way more doable. I could definitely see something like that happening within the next 30 days to a lot of you out there. But when you go out on a limb, you try to manifest these difficult scenes where the gap is just this big between what you want over here and your desire and where you're at right now, that bridge of incidents is so long and you don't know how to wrap your head around it, how it's going to happen. That's why I never recommend going straight to the end of those end scenes. Now, like I said, a lot of us are different. Some of us can go straight to that, but most of us can't. I just recommend you manifesting in steps if this isn't something that you have tried before. Messing with the middle is totally fine. You will not mess up your manifestation, because I know me personally, I have manifested things before with messing with the middle, and the outcome still was the outcome that I wanted it to be. Whatever that case might have been, whatever it was that I was trying to manifest. Don't let people tell you that messing with the middle is bad. It's your reality, right? So even if you mess with the middle, you have the ability to undo it or change it. But the reason why I like messing with the middle is because messing with the middle allows you to create a scene that you believe that can help you manifest your desires a lot faster. Just like you guys can manifest getting a text message from somebody. Like if you're trying to manifest a specific person back, you guys can manifest getting a random text message from them asking them about something that has nothing to do with the relationship, but just something random. You can manifest that happening way faster than manifesting hearing them saying, I want you back, I want to be in a relationship with you, I love you, etc., etc. Once you do your living in the end scene, for instance, like this viewer question asked, finally manifesting the contact, you do your imaginal scene and you imagine hugging this crush that you haven't seen yet, but you just had a few conversations. You imagine the feelings of hugging, what they smell like, how they feel, their curves, their hair, whatever the case may be. You can feel the kiss. Get all your senses involved in that scene. Feel it real. Once that scene happens, you can create the next scene that you want to happen. I've personally done this before in manifesting in steps. The steps went something along the lines of, first you manifest getting a text message. Then once you get that text message, now that scene is out of the way, now my next imaginal scene was, okay, now I'm gonna manifest the meeting. And then I manifested the meeting. And then now that the meeting is out of the way, now I manifested going out somewhere or doing something, spending the night. You're manifesting in steps. When you do that, now your beliefs aren't this big giant belief that you don't believe. Kind of like a rock, and you kind of have something, you're like chipping away at the big rock you have in front of you instead of trying to take the rock out all at once. That's not what you want to do. So I highly recommend, if you have never tried manifesting in steps, to manifest in steps, because I think that will help get rid of a ton of resistance, especially around these big manifestations that you may have. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to click the next one, because I'm sure you'll enjoy that one too.